when I became Doctor Who, it sort of becomes your personal relationship with it becomes irrelevant because you're the sort of the face of a brand, which is not my relationship with it.
No.
But that's what you become. So it becomes slightly trickier and more trying to protect your own relationship with it while also selling it and also keeping everybody in work down in Cardiff and having the responsibilities to keep the show well. It's slightly different.
Yeah. So you say that being sort of the figurehead of that show, it's huge, and it's obviously it's huge. It's a phenomenon, that show. People in this country and now people around the world love that show. I mean, you've taken that show along with like Stephen Moffat, you're that showrunner, and Jenna and Paul Mackie. You've taken that show around the world. You've toured it practically when you were the Doctor. Obviously, being such a fan from such an early age, and then as you say now being the figurehead of that brand, it sounds like it must complicate the relationship you have with it somewhat. You have to kind of protect your own personal love for it, I guess, in some ways. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying that my relationship with it is a personal one. It's what I loved when I was a kid. I didn't sit when I was a kid going, oh, it'd be great to take this around the world and sell it in territories and get Radio Times covers and make a lot of money. And the show became very, very big. And it was never like that when I loved it. So it was became a different thing. I think the responsibilities of playing the part became more. There were more of them. There were more things that you had to do rather than just. I mean, I think in the old days, if you were John Pertwee or Tom Baker or something like that, you probably, you spend most of your year making it, and then a bit of your year promoting it. But it wasn't this in-your-face kind of thing that was suddenly was really important to the BBC, or suddenly really important to a brand that had to be maintained. Yeah. It was just a show that some kids really loved and other kids didn't care about, wanted to watch football, and or you grew out of, or it became this sort of a very important thing. I think less in a cultural way and more in a economic way.
Yeah. And I guess going into that then, when you were first sort of took on the role, I mean, did you, in that sense, with everything you just said, did you know what you were getting into? I mean, obviously Matt and David and Chris had shouldered that responsibility in the years running up to you coming on. Did they sort of prep you at all, or did you know what you were getting into in that regard?
Well, Matt and David were lovely because I knew, and I spoke to them about it, and they were great. David said to me, you will just be much more visible. And I didn't really quite know what he meant, but I soon learned that it just meant you were suddenly, people just recognised you all the time, which was quite nice, actually. I mean, it was a little scary. It was scary. It was scary because I knew that life would change in some way. And it's a genie, once that's out of the bottle, you can't put it back, So if you lose your privacy to that degree, it's quite an extreme kind of feeling. It makes you feel quite vulnerable. But I was lucky that I was older, that I wasn't a young actor who was, still had a huge career that they wanted to pursue, or was going to clubs or pubs or anything like that. I was quite, and remain quite a dull person in that respect. So there was nothing really. I used to have press sitting outside my house and paparazzi and all that. But there was nothing for them to see other than me going to Marks and Spencer's to get the macaroni and cheese for the tea. So they got fed up with that. But it is very exposing. It is very, it makes you feel quite vulnerable. But it's also delightful. It's absolutely wonderful to have people look on you as Doctor Who and smile at you and be cheered up simply by your presence. And you don't want to disappoint people. That becomes a little bit of a strain because you don't want people to be. I think Matt said that to me. You don't want them to be the one that the kid goes, he was horrible. I love Doctor Who, but he was horrible, which Matt would never ever be. You've always got that in the back of your head that you're, if you're not very pleasant, then that will be toxic material. That will it'll be nuclear.